Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Om Gyan Dimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Kadamayyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we welcome you all for this Friday program. Today's topic is Wisdom from Gita. This is the month of Bhagavat Gita. So we will discuss something from Bhagavat Gita. So lot of times we read different books. When we are students, we read books. Once the student time is gone, the reading tendency reduces. We don't read much because by that time we feel that we know everything. We don't require much knowledge. And that is the time when more confusion starts. Till you are student, till you are in college, everything looks okay. At least you know, at least you all know, right? You have to run only those 4 modules and only that will be asked. And at least some clarity is there. Once you are out of it, Once you go to start working or go out in the material world, we don't know what is going to come and stand in front of us, right? That can be anything. That can be even our uncontrolled mind. Sometimes our mind, it just simply creates a big situation out of nothing. And for the whole day, whole week, we are occupied in that only. No matter what is our educational qualification, no matter what is our power or what is our fame in society, mind is such a devil. It will make you think that you're miserable. Everything is there, perfect house, perfect family, perfect health, everything is going perfectly, but mind will make you go and think of a topic which will make you feel depressed, which will make you feel morose. That's why Krishna says that Krishna spoke Bhagavat Gita to Arjun, and Arjun was a Aryan. Aryan means a person of very high intellect, very high abilities, very high skills. They say we have three things. First is our nature. Nature means our swabhava. Everyone has a particular type of nature. Some people are very aggressive. If they speak also, you feel काहीच कलकलता म्हणता पाहिजे, आवाजच ओढला असता, त्यांचा आवाजच ओढला. Some people are soft, means you have to, when that person is speaking, you have to keep quiet and कान देऊन ऐकायचं पडता की किती उलयता काय म्हणून. Some people are very soft. That is swabhava, nature of people. The second thing is, after swabhav, it is the training what the person goes through. He might get engineering training, or he might get training to become a doctor, or he might get training to become a pharmacist or an architect. It might not be what is your swabhav. Ideally in the Vedic time, they used to get training based on their swabhav. But here it is not like that. Modern times, everyone means doctor, engineer, only these two. Afterwards, there is nothing else. No matter who you are. One boy, he told me in my company that I never wanted to be an engineer. I never wanted to be in this rat race. He's from IIT. I think last time also I spoke about it. I never wanted to be in this rat race. That's not my swabhava. That doesn't make me happy. But in modern times, irrespective of our swabhava, we are getting into something just because the whole world is following that. So that is training. And the third thing is swadharma. Swadharma means what occupation we are doing. Right? We might be of some nature, we might be of some different training, but we will be doing swadharma or something else only. Civil engineers. During our time, I don't know why the same trend. Civil engineers were inducted in IT companies. Right? They learned civil engineering for the whole 4 years, but they were going and doing IT coding. Right? Swadharma, something else. So in modern times, our swabhava is different. We get some different training, and our swadharma, we are doing something else only. That's why we are not satisfied. That's why there is so much of chaos. That's why mind is always uncontrolled. But Arjun wasn't like that. Arjun's swabhava, what was his swabhava? Kshatriya. What was his training? Kshatriya training. What was his swadharma? Kshatriya. So all three were matching. Perfect combination. Last time when we went for yatra, one of the Mataji's bag, the numbers got matched. And the bag was not opening only because numbers were not matching. So when the numbers don't match, the bag doesn't open. You're miserable. Right? Then they got some knife and cut it open, right? So here in Arjun's case, all the three numbers were matching. Perfect. Bag was open. Right? Our case, the numbers never match. I have not met anyone in my life whose swabhava, his training and his swadharma, all is in one line. All are different only, Baba. सब कुछ different ही रहता है. But Arjun wasn't like that. All three were matching. Yet, even after all three things getting matched, he was bewildered. He was confused. He was not knowing what to do on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. When Krishna got him and made him stand in front of his grandfather, his teacher, his brothers, right? So why Krishna did all this? He did all this to show us this Arjun, such a big person, everything perfectly matching, but he is also, when situation comes, he also cannot control himself. So what to talk about you and me? We try to control, we should control. We should try to do all possible things which is required to control or get out of that situation. But we should know internally it's all orchestrated by Krishna. That's why Krishna says that when situation comes, we should not try to control the circumstances. Circumstances will keep coming. We cannot control the circumstances. What we can control is our consciousness. We have to control our consciousness, not the circumstances. Circumstances beyond our control. We don't know how my neighbor will react. We don't know how the other guy in that car is driving in front of me, how he will react. He'll suddenly apply a brake. Circumstances. We also become mad and we go and bang our car on his car. Then we are not controlling our consciousness. So we have to control our consciousness. Right? That's why Prabhupada also named it as Krishna consciousness. Our consciousness is very important. That is what makes us stable. That is what makes us Atmanandi, self-satisfied. Right? Consciousness is very important. And the whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke to Arjuna just to tell him one point. Baba, control your consciousness. External circumstances, you cannot. Right? So that is why Bhagavad Gita is relevant even today. Because our numbers are not matching. Arjun's numbers are matching. He was also not able to control the circumstances. Our numbers are not matching only. So for us, Bhagavad Gita is even more relevant than Arjun. Very, very relevant. Right? Bhagavad Gita also tells us, and that is why Krishna told Arjuna that when your swabhava, when your training and your swadharma doesn't help you in controlling the circumstances around, then you have to rise above and go to the fourth dimension. That is your Swarupa. Swarupa means identity. What is our identity? Most of the times we fall in problem or we are always frustrated because of our identity. We identify ourselves as someone. And that is why we say sometimes, Nare, how he can say like this to me? He knows what I am. Who I am. I'm this much bank balance. I am this person. Whole life, what he knows. Identity. We identify ourselves somewhere over here. And then when problems come, circumstances come, we are not able to cope with it. I know it's very difficult. I know it's very difficult to give up this identity. Very difficult to give up. But that is what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. He is saying we have to rise above these three things and know what is our actual Swarupa. What is our Swarupa? Jivera Swarupe Krishnera Nitya Das. So our whole life, we all worked hard, right? When we were a student, we worked hard to become an engineer or a doctor or a pharmacist or a graduate. We worked hard. We worked 4 years, 6 years, 10 years. We studied to become something. Now if we want to become what Krishna is telling, we also have to work hard. We have to open the book and read or hear the kathas of the Lord, sit and chant. That is why we call sadhakas. Learning process never stops. Learning process should continuously be on. Right? So if we want to become what Krishna is telling us, Krishnera Nitya Das, we have to work towards it. We have to hear about Krishna. We have to read about Krishna. That's why reading Bhagavad Gita is very, very important. It tells us what we should be actually doing. Right? So herein, today what we will discuss is the wisdom of Gita is infinite. There is no end to it. But what today we will discuss is loving exchange between Krishna and Arjuna. Now we'll say on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what loving exchange? What love you can show to someone on battlefield? Krishna is telling, go Baba, kill your grandfather, kill your uncles, kill your teacher, and what love can be exchanged over here? Right? But in this conversation also, there is lot of love which is hidden. Bhagavad Gita, every time you read Bhagavad Gita, you will get some different aspect. And you will say, oh, last 3 times I read, 4th time I am reading, I am getting something new only. Bhagavad Gita reading every time will give you something new in life. So here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, there was loving exchange between Krishna and Arjuna. And that's what we are going to discuss today. See, in Gita, Krishna and Arjuna call each other by different names. Right? What are different names of Krishna? What is called in Bhagavad Gita? If any one of you all have read Gita, something. Govinda. Huh? जोर से. Madhusudana. Janardana. Keshav. Oh yes. Parth. Arjun's name Parth. What else? What else Mataji? Bhakti Shastris. Where are Bhakti Shastris? All are. Rishikesha. Madhava. So many names. Govinda. Achyuta. So many names. Right? When we keep name of our children, how we keep a name of our children? Shahrukh Khan. Don't take that name. Right? We keep name of our children saying that it should be unique. सामके असे आसपास आहे की कोणाचेच आसपास आहे ना असले नाव घेताना it should be a tongue twister. म्हणजे नावच आहे ना असे म्हणपाक. Right? Because again in that there is a tendency hidden that I want to lord over. See, I am the best. Moment we come out of this tendency, na I am the best, you will be peaceful. If someone else is best, yes, you are best, and you walk away. You will be peaceful. A lot of time we want to prove I am the best, and everything what I am doing is to prove that. Don't do that. Enough. So many lifetimes we did that. Nothing happened. One more life we got. Right? So somewhere we have to stop doing that. Right? So today we will discuss different names of Krishna and Arjuna. Right? Name of the Lord, Krishna's names are based on his Janma, Karma, Guna and Rupa. His Guna. Even in the olden times, just maybe 50, 100 years back, name of the newborn child was, an astrologer was called, and he was making a prophecy what Guna this person will have based on his timings. And then a name was suggested. So based on the gun or the qualities he had, the name was given. Right? So Lord's name, there is one very famous shloka. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punya Shuddha Nitya Mukto Nama Namadi Nandada. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Krishna's names are Chintamani. Chintamani means desire fulfilling. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. They are full of rasa. They are full of nourishment. Punya Shuddha Nitya Mukta. Krishna's names are pure and Nitya Mukta. We get liberated. And there is no difference between Krishna person and Krishna name. Right? We say during chanting, there is no difference between Krishna and his name. What is the meaning of that? If I call Krishna, just those words, the power of those words are same as Krishna personally being present over here. Right? So Krishna, when we study different names of Krishna and Arjun, what has been said in Bhagavad Gita, these are nothing but loving exchanges between them. When we call someone else by a different name, suppose my name is Manjunath Prabhu. So when I meet him, I'll say Hare Krishna Manjunath Prabhu, right? When I will call someone by a different name than his actual name, when I like him, I'll call him by a different name, right? I'll say, oh Prabhuji, oh Shania, how are you? As Prabhuji always say, right? When else I'll call him by a different name? When I don't like him, when I'm angry, and all those names will come. Right? But here that was not the case. Krishna and Arjuna had that deep loving bond. And that's what I said. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra also, they reciprocated with love. That is a devotee. A devotee means love. A devotee means reciprocation of that love. So the first name what Arjuna calls Krishna is Achyuta. The meaning of word Achyuta means, what's the meaning of word Achyuta? Infallible. Infallible means who doesn't fall down. Infallible means who doesn't give up his words. Infallible means who always, whatever vow he's taken, he'll keep that vow. So Krishna is Achyuta. Infallible also means one who never let his devotees fall down. He always saves his devotee. That is the meaning of Achyuta. Right? Herein, Here in 18th chapter, 73rd shloka, the last chapter, everything is finished. The whole Gita is spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. And then finally Arjuna is telling Krishna this shloka. Nashta moho smritir labdho karishi nashta labdho smritir nashta moho smritir labdho karishi tava vachana achyuta. Now all my moha is gone. All my illusion is gone. And then what he says? Karishi vachanam tava. Karishi vachanam tava. Arjuna is saying, Lord, whatever you will tell, I will do. And he is calling him Achyuta. And you know why he is telling this? Because Arjuna had taken a vow. He had taken a vow that when Draupadi was insulted, he had taken a vow, I will kill Duryodhan. I will kill all the Pandavas, Kauravas. But then when he saw everyone, he said, no, I'm not able to do it. I'll go in forest. I'll stay over there. I'll not be able to fight. Right? His vow would have broken. Krishna saved Arjuna from breaking his vow. So Krishna always saves his devotees. There's a nice story of Sakshi Gopal. And how many of us has gone to Sakshi Gopal temple? Yeah, last time we went for Yatra, right? Whoever is not gone can go to Sakshi Gopal temple. It's a very beautiful deity. This time when we went, we actually got the chance of touching our head to the lotus feet, right? We were there standing right in front of the Lord, right in the Garbhagriha. Such a beautiful deity of Sakshi Gopal. It's the same deity which walked, right? You all know the story. That old Brahmana was there. There were two Brahmanas who had gone for Yatra, one old and one new. So, young. So this young Brahmana served this old Brahmana very nicely. And this old Brahmana was very happy. And he says, I will give my daughter to you in marriage. And the new young Brahmana says, no, don't say that. You don't know what your family member wants. You know why you are just giving. No. I'm in front of the Lord. I'm giving the promise. I'll get you married to my daughter. After some time, they all went back home and that old Brahmana forgot it. The young Brahmana came to him in his house and he said, oh, you had given this promise. He didn't come just because he wanted to marry that his daughter. He came because he didn't want his vow to be broken. Because he had taken vow in front of the Lord. And then the family members objected and there was a big commotion. And then finally they said, oh, who is the witness? Who is the witness? The Lord is a witness. So go and call the Lord. So this old young Brahmana goes all the way to Vijayanagar and then he discusses with the Lord and the Lord walks. This is a long story actually. We can speak one full lecture only on this. And the Lord walks and he walks and he walks and he walks. And when he come over there in Puri, there's some sand goes in his nupur and there is no sound. So he turns back and he stands there only. And then everyone comes and they get united. The whole story signifies that first what we said, Lord doesn't allow his devotees' vows to be broken. But here if you see something very nice, first what we can learn is faith about this old Brahmana in Lord. He had full faith. I have taken promise in front of Lord, Lord will come with me. So when we have faith, even that day when we were standing in front of Sakshi Gopal, he is the same Lord who walked. Only we should have had that faith. That time you didn't pray him with that much faith, plan one more time. At least because of that one more time we'll go to Sakshi Gopal and Jagannath Puri. He was so beautiful, just standing over there. So nice, right? So faith in Lord. And second one is, now Lord does not allow his devotees to break his vow. Number one. This younger Brahmana became an instrument of the Lord so that the older Brahmana doesn't break his vow. Are you getting my point? Lord comes and saves devotees from breaking his vow. But Lord might not come the way he came to save Arjuna. So this younger Brahmana became an instrument to save the vow of the older Brahmana. And just by doing that, he became very dear to the Lord. Right? Lord says, I don't allow, I am Achyuta, I'll help everyone to keep their vows. So when we, like the younger Brahmanas, become instrument of the Lord in helping other devotees keep their vows, we become dear to Krishna. Simple equation, no complication. When we become instruments or when we act in such a way so that other devotees are able to keep their vows of devotional service, we become dear to Krishna. So simple. That's why we should be always having an environment of love and care around us, always motivating and inspiring everyone around us to perform devotional service. Right? So when we have that environment, we are helping other devotees to keep their vows of devotional service. And that is what pleases Krishna. And that is what makes a very strongly bonded devotional communities. Otherwise, we get stuck with me, mine, family, maximum 4 5. That's it. Life just revolves around those 4 5. That's it. And that too for a very small amount of time. After some time, the children gets married, and then it's only you and me, and then things just, it's finished. But when we are connected to a larger community based on Krishna as the center of it, life becomes worth living. Life becomes worth living. So that is what Krishna tells us through so many stories, that I always keep vows of my devotee, and when we become instrumental helping Krishna to, we cannot help him, we can just become instruments in helping or in executing his words, we become dear to the Lord. So the same stories in the Bhagavatam we can see from so many different angles of the Acharyas. These are the stories told to us by our Acharyas. It's the same story, but our Acharyas extract so different meaning out of it, and that becomes so connecting to us. So that is the meaning of word Achyuta. Arjuna, Krishna reciprocates. He also calls Arjuna by different names. One name of Arjuna he says is Anagha. किसी का नाम है अनघा? इधर नॉर्मली माता जी इसका रहते हैं अनघा. Anagha was the name of our one of our politicians in Vasco. Now he's a governor of a state. The meaning of word Anagha means, what's the meaning of word Anagha? Sinless. जिसने कभी कोई पाप किया ही नहीं. Anagha, sinless. धुतल्या, washed rice, they are very white, sinless. White milk, very white, looks very nice, attractive. Sinless. That's the meaning of word Anagha. And others. When we speak about sin can be discussed on various levels, various lines. But some of the very gross sin are the 4 regulatory principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. When someone doesn't do these 4 things, there is nothing else remained as sin. The 4 pillars of adharma are this. The bull of dharma was standing on the 4 pillars, the 4 legs, Satyam, Saucham, Shama and Daya. And Kali was coming and he had almost broken all the 3 legs, only 1 leg was remaining, and then Parikshit Maharaj comes and stops him. So these 4 regulatory principles are coming from there. So when we don't do meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex and gambling, we are actually eliminating 99.999% of sinful activities. और कुछ बचा ही नहीं फिर लाइफ में materialistically. Right? So Anagha means sinless. So Arjuna was like that. He was sinless. That's why Krishna spoke Gita to him. That's why Arjuna was so dear to Krishna. Because he was Anagha. He was innocent. He was a warrior. When it comes to fighting, he will fight, break, destroy. But when it comes to dealing, he was sinless. So when we say we are devotees of Krishna, or we are trying to be devotees of Krishna, then we have to be aspiring to become like Arjuna, sinless. Right? It's very important. Once Srila Prabhupada was in Mumbai, Juhu Beach, he was walking. He's always in the morning after Bhagavatam, he used to go for a walk. And a lot of other devotees and non-devotees used to come with him, and they used to walk and they used to discuss on different topics. All those topics are converted into small booklets now, which we have. So one of the persons was there, and he said, so a lot of people used to come and challenge him. This Bombay people. So one of the persons came and he said, "Oh Swamiji, I have read the whole of Gita." He said, "Very good, you read Gita." So Srila Prabhupada said, "Which is your favorite shloka of Gita?" So he said, "My favorite shloka from Gita is this, Yate Chashi Tatha Kuru." So Krishna, after telling the entire Gita to Arjuna, he tells this shloka, Yate Chashi Tatha Kuru. Now Arjun, I have told you the entire Gita. Now do as you like. He tells that. In the Gita it is there. So that's why we should read Gita. Gita is very practical, and every one of us will find different meanings. Please, I request everyone should read Gita. It is one shloka a day. It doesn't take 7 minutes, is nothing. 6 minutes I think it will take to read one shloka of Gita in purport. One shloka a day. You don't know what all you will find in it. Treasure, it's a treasure. 700 treasures are there. 700 shlokas are 700 treasures. Can you imagine someone, your teacher comes and teaches you everything, integration, differentiation, जो सब सर के ऊपर से जाता था ना, double integration, differentiation, some accounting maths, and then she says, I taught you everything, now in the answer paper, you write what you want. You will not say that. So ये नहीं आता तेरे को, because teachers are there, right? Teachers को भी principal पूछता है ना, कितने बच्चे पास फेल हुए तुम्हारे क्लास में, क्या सिखाती हो? सिखाते हैं, don't know, मैंने also there, right? So उनका भी क्लास होता है. So if someone fails, they also feel bad. So which teacher will tell you, I taught you everything, now do what you want? And Krishna gave the highest knowledge. And see the renunciation of, that is renunciation of Krishna. If you teach someone something, will be at least, अरे मैंने इतना सिखाया, कुछ तो प्रैक्टिस कर, कुछ तो मृदंग बजा. प्रभुजी अभी मृदंग सिखाते हैं सबको, बोले कुछ तो हाथ में लेके तो बैठ, कुछ बजा मत, ऐसे तो लेके बैठ, मैंने सिखाया तुझे बोल के. But you see, Krishna, he gave the highest knowledge. And then he is telling, Arjun, I told you, Guhyatam, I told you the most confidential knowledge. Now, act as you like. You contemplate and as you play. That is the renunciation of the Lord. So that's why I said, we should also be like Lord. When we are saying we are devotee of Krishna, we should be also little like Lord. We should not feel, oh, I am great, I am this. When we leave that I will be peaceful. तेरे को बनना है ना फर्स्ट रैंक कर, बन बाबा बन, मैंने जिंदगी भर बना, इतना कुछ नहीं हुआ, तू बन के देख मुझे क्या करना है, जा बन. Right? So we have to be really peaceful. In that peaceful state, we can practice devotional service properly. Otherwise, it is just a mad rush. We are rushing towards something. It is mad rush. Intelligent person really takes a pause and he really thinks, बाबा क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं, इतना साल, इतने दिन वेस्ट किए मैंने. अभी नया साल आ रहा है वापस, 2 दिन में वापस साल खत्म, और एक आ रहा है, वापस कोविड आ रहा है. वापस साइकिल, वही सब पूरा, चाहते हैं, प्रहलाद महाराज यूज्ड टू से चीविंग द च्यूड. हम वही उसी को वापस चबा रहे हैं, चीविंग द च्यूड, राइट? So when we say, so this person, he says, my favorite shloka is this. So people extract anything out of Gita. So that's why we require acharyas who will give us the right meaning from Gita. Not something whimsically, this is what I like. Not like that. So when we are sinless, we can realize that meaning. Otherwise, this Gita, we are selling it to everyone, we are giving it to everyone. They just open and any shloka comes, they'll read. Some sukriti they will get, but they might not understand what Krishna is trying to tell. Not understand. We say it is to be given to everyone, but it is not for everyone. The shlokas are locked. It's a lock. It's all password protected. And what is the password for it? We have to be sinless. That's a password. Some sukriti we will get. Some sukriti definitely. हाथ में किसी ने बुक को पकड़ा ना भगवद गीता, उसका अकाउंट चालू हो गया. But to get that zoom, वो रॉकेट ऊपर जाना है तो वो नीचे लोड्स जो पकड़ के हमें रुके हैं, वो एंकर्स, those anchors has to be left. That is sinful activity. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavat Gita, 15th shloka. Iti guhyatam shastram idam yuktam maya anagha. I have told you this, which is very guhyatam, very confidential. Arjuna, I have told you because you are anagha. You are sinless. Krishna himself says, Iti guhyatam shastram. In Bhagavad Gita 15.20 shloka. Iti guhyatam shastram. I have told you the most confidential. 15th chapter, you know what is 15th chapter? How many of you all remember? Mataji remembers. All Bhakti Shastras only sitting over here. 15th chapter is Purushottam Yoga. You remember when we used to recite Purushottam Yoga? In Purushottam month. Adhik Mas. So Purushottam Yoga, this is the 15th chapter. You know how many shlokas are there? Only 20. This is one of the smallest chapter. So Krishna says, if you don't want to read whole Gita, Baba, read at least 15 chapter. So during Adhik Mas, we used to tell, read 15 chapter. And Purushottam Yoga, Krishna tells the most confidential knowledge. He tells about who is he. He tells about all his opulences. So who are you? Your soul. I am supreme. Our relation is that of love. He tells everything in that chapter. And in all 19 shlokas he tells this, and 20th shloka he says this. 20th shloka Krishna says, Iti guhyatam shastram idam yukta maya anaga. Iti guhyatam. I have told you everything guhyatam. What? Those 19 shlokas. Today try and go and read those 19 shlokas. 15 chapter, 15th chapter. 19 shlokas. Krishna says it is guhyatam. It is not me or someone else. Krishna says. And he says, why I have told you? Because you are anaga. You are sinless. So that is the importance of lifestyle given in the Gita. We cannot be just living whatever we want. And since we are Hindus, it is our birthright to know Gita. Yes, it is good to read Gita, but we also have to come to a level. When we are small, we say, Papa, please save me. But when the children grow up, we go and help Papa. Alright? We don't no more become dependable liabilities on Papa. When we are small, it's okay. But as we grow, we have to tell Papa, how can I serve you? Tell me, what should I do for you? Right? That is love. So knowledge of Lord, knowledge of soul is what Krishna tells Arjuna. And he tells him because he is Anagha. So that is very, very important. One more name of Arjuna, what Krishna tells him is Kaunteya and Bharata. Kaunteya means son of Kunti. So in the olden times, whatever your parents' name was there, it was just exaggerated. It was stretched a little bit and then it was your name. The Vasudeva become Vasudeva, that's Krishna. And then Kunti, Kaunteya and Bharata. Bharata means the king Bharat. The name of India is Bharat behind that king, and Arjuna was coming in that line. That's why Bharata. Which shloka is it? Anyone knows? Kaunteya and Bharata, both the names are there. One shloka is there. Matrasparsha. Matrasparshasya Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada Agamo Paino Anitya Tam Titikshva. Say Titikshva. Tam Titikshvasya Bharata. This word Titikshva is very important. One day we had full class only on this shloka. Titikshva means what? Tolerant. Titikshva means tolerant. Krishna also tells Arjuna, be tolerant. Bhagavat Gita, it's a very practical book. Practical things are there in this. When children are shouting on top of their voice, be Titikshva. When some practical problems are happening in life, we have to be Titikshva, tolerant. When we are tolerant, we can be peaceful in mind and we can act on it. Otherwise, we will make the situation even more bad. Krishna himself is telling Arjuna, be Titikshva. Matrasparshasya Kaunteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada. So Krishna tells that Sukha and Dukkha, it will come and it will go. It is like Shita and Ushna, cold and hot. When there is winter, it will remain for some time. It's cold nowadays. After some time, summer will come. Then again winter will come. Then again summer will come. We have to tolerate. We cannot change the circumstances. We have to change our consciousness. Right? So it's very important. Krishna gives very practical tips over here. And he tells this word Anitya. Anitya means temporary. It's Anitya. They write normally, this too shall pass. Raat ye bhi guzar jayegi. Right? Good times doesn't last long. So are bad times. Bad time also doesn't last long. Right? We feel it's long because it's bad. So we remember only bad things. Right? So that's why they say when good times are there, we have to relish those good times. We have to get absorbed in the good times so that when bad times come, we can tolerate them. Sometimes we just walk over good times, and good times are all there around us. Small happiness in life, small things in life. When we relish it, we get that tolerance to tolerate the bad times also. And that's what Krishna says. Very, very practical. There is nothing high shastric talk. Another name of Arjuna is Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means one who has or one who conquers a lot of wealth. He had gone to the Swargaloka and got the wealth for Yudhishthir Maharaj for Rajasuya Yagya, right? So Dhananjaya means conqueror of wealth. So Krishna wants to tell from this name that, oh Arjuna, collect this dhana of bhakti and grace of the Lord. And we also have to be like Arjun. We have to collect dhana. Dhana of what? Dhana of mercy of the Lord. Dhana of faith in Lord. That is the real dhan. All other dhan will go. Now today morning the markets crashed. You know that? Gone. Dhan, zoom, it went out only. It will crash further. COVID is becoming, and this time it happens, then all gone only. This time it will not rewind back. It will come even, the Rakshas will come even more stronger now. Right? So all this dhan, yes, it's required just to maintain our soul and body together. Otherwise soul will come out of the body. Right? So just have enough dhan to maintain the body and soul together. But beyond that, we should use our time, intelligence and resources to earn the dhan of faith in Lord. Earn the dhan of mercy of Lord. Earn the dhan of devotees' friendship. When devotees are around, when our friends are devotees, when we are connected to a larger community, that is the biggest dhan. All other dhan will go, but this dhan will remain. If we know that someone somewhere is praying for us, that is the biggest dhan for us. What else we want? Otherwise, akele aaye the, akele jayenge. People sing a lot of songs on this. That's the fact of life. Right? So our only dhan is someone somewhere praying for us. And that will happen when we develop strong friendship between devotees. Right? Krishna is always there only. But along with Krishna, Krishna is devotee. So that's important. So we have to be like Dhananjaya. We should win all the wealth of this world. And that wealth is the wealth of friendship and love of Lord. Friendship and love of devotees. That is the biggest wealth. One more name of Krishna is Govinda. Govinda means... Hey, Govinda the common name hai. Go means cow. Go also means senses. This senses we have. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the cows. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to our senses. Right? So Krishna, Arjuna is referring him as Govinda. Govinda, you are telling me to kill my family members. What pleasure I will get by doing this? Arjuna also an intelligent person. He is in a way is trying to pinch Krishna. Govinda, you are telling me to kill, and you are supposed to be Govinda. You are supposed to give me pleasure, and you are telling me to kill them. Govinda means, it's not the meaning that Krishna will give pleasure to us. Govinda means we should give pleasure to Krishna. It's always the other way around. We always go in front of the Lord and cry, oh Lord, this happened, that happened, this problem, that problem, as if Lord is just standing over here to listen to our problems. Right? He is not here to listen to our problems. He has given us everything. And of course, we should go and tell thank you to him for whatever he has given to us and work our problems. Krishna will help. Even if you don't go to him, Krishna will help. Right? So it's not for our satisfaction, it is for his satisfaction. And that's what devotees do. Devotees travel extra mile to please the Lord. They do something extra just to please the Lord, not to show to the world, but please the Lord. There's so many examples. Once, I don't know how much time we have. How many of us have gone to the Pune temple? ISKCON's Pune temple, it's the big temple. We almost gone. Yeah? A lot of us have gone, right? If you're not gone, whenever you go, please visit the NVCC temple, the huge, big temple. It looks very nice. There is Radha, Krishna, and there is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and outside there is Balaji temple. And they have made it so nice. There are food courts and nice gardens and huge place. You can stay also over there. 2 days you can just go. Just stay there. ये सब झंझट से जाके न्यू ईयर वहाँ पे करो. गाड़ी लेके जाओ. 2 दिन पुणे में रुक के आ जाओ. Be there in the temple. मंगल आरती अटेंड करो. Something or other going on over there. Some katha is going. Something or other is going on over there. It's a spiritual world only, right? But that temple, externally it looks very nice. But it is just not come just like that. A lot of devotees have toiled for it. So many. When we see the big Taj Mahal, which is made of nice white marbles, we don't see the black stones which are below it. The black stones are holding it. Right? So whenever we see something good, a lot of efforts of devotees have gone in it, and devotees walk extra mile to give pleasure to the Lord. So this nice story was there. Just pause the recording. Just pause it and stop. Extra mile, that name was there of the industrialist. That's why I said let's not talk about it. When we travel extra mile for the Lord helps, and we also become dear to the Lord. Now for eternity, this devotee's name is there connected to ISKCON Pune temple, and I met him so many times. I don't know him, but when I see him, very simple, एक shirt, धोती कुर्ता पहन के वो मस्त है. He is happy in life. No president designation, no vice president designation, no this, nothing. He is just happy, Atmanandi. I did my part. Finish, I am happy. आपको जो करना है कर लो. Right? So when devotees travel extra mile, we become pleased to the Lord. And that is the actual meaning of word Govinda. Now we're just finishing. Another name of the Arjuna is Gudakesha. Gudakesha means? Gudakesha means what? Who conquers sleep. अभी बहुत सारे लोग वहाँ पे पीछे थोड़ा गुड़केशा अगुड़केशा हो रहे हैं. Gudakesha means who conquers sleep or ignorance. Thank you, Bhakti Shastri. We all should do Bhakti Shastri course, okay? It's coming whenever, because that teaches in depth. Whatever we're discussing is from Bhakti Shastri only, right? So please do it, okay? So Gudakesha means one who conquers sleep, one who conquers ignorance, not only just sleep, but he conquers ignorance, right? Once he was eating, his teacher Dronacharya had told Arjun को रात में कभी खाना खाने देना मत. In the night, in the dark, don't give him anything to eat. Because teacher है ना, परख लेता है स्टूडेंट कैसा है. द्रोणाचार्य न्यू अर्जुन इज डिफरेंट ही मट्टी का बनाया है, उसको देना मत अंधेरे में कुछ. एक बार वो लोग दे वे हैविंग प्रसाद एंड द लैम्प वेंट ऑफ एंड इट वॉज पिच डार्क एंड अर्जुन वाज स्टिल रिमूविंग द prasad morsel and putting in the mouth. And then he realized, what he realized? Oh, in the dark also I can eat. So we will say, so what? क्या बड़ा बात है, हम भी खाते हैं अंधेरे में, खाते हैं, उनसे बड़ा बात है. But Arjuna was a different person. He realized, we say realized soul. Realized soul means क्या होता है? Everything what happens in their life ना, they try to see from Shastra Chakshu. They try to see from how I can help it, how I can use it for my betterment in bhakti. So Arjuna thought, if I can eat in the dark, I can practice archery in dark also, na? Oh my God, I am so lazy. I am wasting my time in sleeping in the night. I should have practiced. I am so lazy. I am so ungrateful to my teacher Dronacharya, who has given me the highest knowledge, and I am not practicing it. That is Arjuna. And he realized, I can do it in the night. So पूरा रात वो बैठ के वहाँ पे आर्चरी करता था. That's why he became the topmost archer. Practice. He practiced. He was not a gifted child. We say, he's a topper, first ranker. वो तू ही, हम नहीं हो सकते. No one is gifted. Oh, 16 round, 32 rounders. Oh, तू ही कर, मुझसे नहीं होगा. No, everyone practice and reach there. So we have to practice. We have to be like Arjun, Gudakesha. He had conquered his sleep. He had conquered his laziness. He had conquered his alas. And that is why he is called Arjuna. And still in the pages of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, 5,000 years even ahead of that. When हम ऐसा प्रसाद खा रहे हैं और लाइट चली जाएगी तो हम क्या करेंगे? अरे कहाँ गया प्रसाद, गुलाब जामुन कहाँ गया, खीर गिर ना जाए, अरे प्रभुजी साइड रहा मास्टर रख तले. So we have that consciousness. Arjuna was saying, my God, I am able to eat. If I am able to eat, I will be able to practice. I will be able to chant. Right? So when we are chanting Hare Krishna and we become anti-Gudakesha, right? So when we chant, what happens after sometimes we really, my mother used to say, Kane zokpak lagta hai, yavat. Right? We feel asleep. They used to say sometimes, नींद नहीं आ रही तो क्या करो? गणिताचं बुक घेऊन बस, रोकडी नींद येतात. Right? So sometimes japa becomes like that for us. Japa becomes a sleeping pill, which is not right. It happens because we don't have taste. Right? When we chant, we are becoming devotees of the Lord. Arjuna was devotee of the Lord. So we have to become like Arjuna, who conquered his ignorance, who conquered his sleep. Right? So that is the meaning of word Gudakesha. It's very important. And in chanting, we should do one very important thing, hearing. I just recently, someone had shared a quote. Krishna says, if you hear my name, you purchases me. Or whatever. He purchases me who hear my name. If we hear the name of Krishna, we actually purchase Krishna. It means Krishna becomes so dear, we become so dear to Krishna. What is the meaning of that? Meaning of that is, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when we are chanting this Hare Krishna and Ram, we should just do one thing. What is that? And I'll tell you, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, you will really be blissful. You will be like, my God, there's so much. Why we don't feel rasa in chanting is because 16 rounds, 32 rounds ho jata hai yahan pe, but we are in some auto mode only, autopilot. We are somewhere else. And this hand now, when we are chanting, should be tied to some rope. Because this hand will either go on mobile or, yahan ka saman idhar rakhenge, wahan ka saman udhar. Try that. When you chant, this hand you put in pocket or tie it somewhere. You see, chanting will be blissful. And second thing is, when we chant, we hear, then we realize, oh my God, I'm saying the names of that Lord who is so glorious. See, Krishna and Arjun, they are telling so nice names to each other. Dhananjaya, Gudakesha, Achyuta, Govinda, Keshava, Madhav. It's out of their deep love and respect for each other. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, when we hear Krishna, Ram, and when we hear that form comes of the Lord in front of us, that is the real perfection of life. And then we'll have real rasa. Otherwise it just become ritualistic process. 16 mala karna hai aaj, subah jaldi utھ ke 16 mala karenge. But then we are planning for the whole day. Aaj ke din kya karna hai? Aur raat ko kar rahe to aaj ke din mein kya hua? So we have to somewhere put a stop to that auto mind and come back. It happens. It is not easy. It will happen. But we have to take a pause. Enough. Okay, I'll remember. I'll hear. We have to tell our mind, Manak Sangpasai, wait for some time. When the children cry, what we tell him? You wait, after some time I'll give you chocolate. So our mind also, we have to tell him that. After some time I'll do what all you are telling me. But now, please hear this Krishna, Ram. Otherwise, chanting becomes just a waste of time. You get some Sukruti, but we don't get the final result, which is Krishna Prem. And that is why we feel chanting becomes dried up. We feel, oh, ye process mere liye nahi hai. But that's not the fact, right? So we have to be like Gudakesha. The last thing is Rishikesha. Rishikesha means what? The master of senses. Krishna is Rishikesha, the master of senses. That's very important. When you give when a small child is there, newborn, maybe 1 month old, 1 month is too small, maybe 1 year old, you give him something in his hand, what he's going to do? Put that thing in his mouth. Why? Because it's only that sense is developed. He want to taste, feel it. Similarly, we also, if anything comes in front of us, we take it through our 5 senses. Eyes, nose, smell, hear, right? We see, interact, everything happens through these senses. Bhakti also we get from senses only. So we have to pray to Krishna. Krishna, please help me to apply my senses in your service. Otherwise, we actually don't have any control on our senses. Tongue is the most uncontrollable thing. To eat and talk. Most uncontrollable. If we just control our tongue, 50% of miseries will be gone. Just if we control our tongue. Vacho Vegam. Right? In Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says, Vacho Vegam, Mansa Krodho Vegam. It starts from Vacho Vegam. So we have to really pray to Krishna. Krishna, your Rishikesha, please help me in using my senses in your service. That is the meaning of word Rishikesha. Right? So that's why we should have sadhana bhakti. This sadhana bhakti will slowly elevate in us in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise it is not easy. Once one newly married girl, one devotee, she just got married and she came to Prabhupada for blessings. So Prabhupada gave blessings, and then he just jokingly asked, both husband and wife were there, so whom do you love the most, your husband or Krishna? Very difficult question, no? And you're just married, what answer you're going to give? So that girl started crying. And Prabhupada said, why you're crying, Baba? Did I ask something so dangerous that you're crying? She said, I don't love any one of them. My husband, I just got married, I don't know what he is. My Krishna, I am chanting, but there's no love only, I'm just mechanically chanting. Correct? We all are doing the same thing. So Prabhupada said, no problem, that's okay. Keep chanting, and slowly, gradually, you will realize Krishna. So process, if we take the sadhana bhakti process, it's not going to be easy. First day only you will not score a 6. It will slowly happen, and slowly the rasa will come. And then we will also start loving Krishna. So the loving Krishna process starts by hearing Krishna Katha, hearing Krishna Kirtan, hearing Krishna Japa. So one thing we have to do from today is, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we have to hear the words of Krishna and Ram. And when we hear, I'll tell you, that round will be different. You'll be chanting the whole 16 round, but tell your mind, this round I will just hear. Otherwise, sometimes we have to be just in a hurry to finish it off. They say, this one round I will hear. Then tell 2 rounds, I'll be there. 3 rounds. Slowly increase it. Hearing. That is the gateway to Krishna. Hearing about Him, hearing His name. So we see that in the battlefield also, Krishna and Arjuna showed so much love to each other. So we also, as devotees of Krishna, have to show a lot of love to each other. Right? We need not call each other by different names. We'll call each other by the same name what Guru Maharaj gave us. But internally, we should have a lot of love to each other. Right? So we saw the different names of Arjuna and Krishna. Achyuta means, we'll just quickly revise. Achyuta means we should, one very important thing to know names is, when we say different names, those different gunas come in front of us. And then we also start tapping to those gunas. We say certain words, we become like those words. So we have to be very careful what words we say. What words we say. What is our vocabulary. Very, very important. So when we say all these names of Krishna and Arjuna, different names, we also unconsciously become like them, become like that thing. So what is the meaning of Achyuta? Unfallible. So Krishna always saves his devotees and he keeps their vows. So we also have to act in such a way that we help other devotees keep their vow. That is how we make loving communities. Another name of Arjuna is Anaga. Anaga means sinless. So when we say we are devotees of Krishna, we have to be like Arjuna, try to be sinless. The 4 regulative principles, if you stop this, 99% sins are over. Krishna says, this Gita is most confidential and I am telling you this because you are Anagha. So we have to become Anagha to realize Gita just like Arjuna realized. Otherwise it is just shlokas for us. Arjuna is also called as Kaunteya and Bharata, which means he is son of Kunti and lineage of Bharata. So he is coming from a deep, big lineage, and Krishna tells him in this shloka that you have to become tolerant. Titikshvaha. We'll say this word again. Titikshvaha. ये नाम बाहट करो, बच्चे का नाम ये रखो. थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट टंग ट्विस्टर है, बट तितिक्षवह, राइट? यू रिमेंबर 10 बार बोलो ये वर्ड, सिचुएशन आएगा, यू विल रिमेंबर दिस वर्ड. आई हैव टू बी तितिक्षवह. किसने बोला? कृष्णा ने बोला अर्जुन को इन भगवद गीता. सो वी हैव टू बी टॉलरेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अनदर नेम ऑफ Arjuna is Dhananjaya. He is the conqueror of wealth. So what is the wealth we should have? The wealth of faith in name, the wealth of mercy of the Lord, the wealth of friendship of devotees. Very important. Another name is Govinda. Govinda means who gives pleasure. But we have to give pleasure to the Lord and go that extra mile. Pune temple, extra mile, right? Gudakesha means conqueror of sleep. When we chant, we have to remember, oh, Gudakesha ki tarah banna, Gudakesha. Right? Very important. It happens. Because when we are chanting, someone told me when he is chanting, the best ideas come to him in his mind. It happens. Because why, Because when we are chanting, we are actually calming down our mind. All this nonsense of the world, all that, in this internet age, so much of content we are grasping, and the mind is always agitated. So when you are chanting, we are really shant, and that is the time good ideas come. So we have to channelize those ideas and remove them out and listen to Krishna. That's very important. And finally,